Season 2, Road Rage. Race for Glory. Motorsport Association. Growing the sport together.
Welcome, race fans, to the Motorsport Association Season 2 Road Rage. Over 100 drivers have signed up across 7 competitive tiers, making this the biggest season yet. We've got fresh faces on the grid, new sponsors back in the action, and a brand new production team and new co-commentators joining me for this season, with the return of some of the fiercest drivers from South Africa. The only mainstay in SMA is myself, Flawed Gaming, who will be hosting Season 2 in its entirety, but alongside me in the booth, the first of our brand new co-commentators is Levitius, and together we'll break down the racing, the strategy and the stories as they unfold. But good evening to you, Levitius. How are you? And thank you so much for joining me today.
It's an absolute welcome, Flawed. I appreciate the warm welcome, and I'm really looking forward to tonight. It's looking to be a bit of a tasty affair around Grand Valley.
Yes, it certainly is. This is a very, very exciting race ahead of us in cars that may or may not be too familiar for the drivers. But yeah, awesome to have you alongside me. That is going to provide all the statistics for us, I think.
Oh, definitely. This track is quite a challenge, but I look forward to see what the drivers can do around here today.
Indeed. Well, before we do reveal the race details for today, it's important we mention our sponsors for Season 2, as without them, none of this would be possible. So firstly, it's great to have Simulator Cave back in our lineup for this season. South Africa's haven for all your sim racing equipment, selling only the highest recommended products from the likes of Fanatec and Moza, as well as racing cockpits for that perfect driving experience. Link is in the description below. Also welcoming back TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, the hotbed of nurturing young potential to golfing greatness, an academy with a breadth of history for producing talent on the world stage. If you feel you have what it takes to become South Africa's next global star, TGSC is the place to be. The first of our brand new sponsors, we are delighted to introduce to you Postnet Midstream. Aside from the endless business and personal possibilities, Postnet brings something extra: heart and connection. With quality printing, shipping and design services, Postnet shows that it's not just about business, it's about people. We're not just any print and ship shop, we're your people. And introducing our next new sponsor is Right Recruitment. Finding the right people just got easier as they handle everything from A to Z sourcing, screening and matching top talent that fits your business perfectly. Save time, cut the hassle and build a stronger team with Right Recruitment, where the right hire is always the right choice. And we're also proud to bring to you DC Designs, where imagination meets reality. From custom home decor and lifestyle products to specialized gaming and sim racing accessories, DC Designs uses the power of 3D printing to craft items as unique as you are. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind gift, personalized collectibles or gear to level up your sim rig, DC Designs has you covered. Turn your ideas into reality with DC Designs. And lastly, we are delighted to have Coach Dave Academy, our brand new sponsor for the whole of SMA Season 2. Coach Dave Academy is the trusted name in sim racing, offering world-class setups, data packs and coaching to help you unlock your true potential in GT7. And with Delta AI, the leading GT7 telemetry app, you'll get easy to use race data analysis, instant tips to race faster online with AI powered coaching that highlights your weaknesses to improve lap times with ease. Compare your laps with the pros and take your sim racing to the next level with Coach Dave Academy. And again, a massive shout out to all our sponsors supporting us for SMA Season 2. SMA is in association with Motorsport South Africa, the only organisation licensed and fully backed by the FIA of all competitive motorsport inside of South Africa. And then adding to our list of all things new for this season is our newly formed SMA production team. We are delighted to acquire the services of Luckie Mistake, aka our very own moderator, Dana, that I'm sure you'll see in chat right now. So say hi, Dana. She is responsible for all the fabulous graphics you'll see in front of you, as well as our brand new YouTube content creator, Parquet713. You would have seen examples of his work from the Road Rage trailers leading up to this event, including the intro vid we've just seen. We want to say a big thank you on behalf of SMA for the continuous hard work you've provided and will continue to do so for the whole of Season 2. Please check out their links and support them as only the SMA can by following and subscribing to these amazing people, please. And also, please contact Robin Williams, our SMA GT7 promoter, for any of the inquiries for future SMA tournaments coming up during 2026. Email links will be in the description below and on our YouTube homepage. So with all the credits said and done, let's take a look at our race calendar for this season. So firstly, we are in America for the highly anticipated season opener, where the drivers will be racing at the Grand Valley South. Then for round 2 on the 13th of October, we head to Japan for the iconic GT7 original circuit of the High Speed Ring. The following week on the 20th of October, we head back to the US for the Blue Moon Speedway, but in its road infield layout. Then this is followed by a trip to Italy at the beautiful Lago Maggiore, but in the western variation. Round 5 sees us in the forest of Germany as we pay a visit to the Green Hell. That's right, we are racing at the Nürburgring 24-hour layout. And speaking of doom to some, the following week on the 10th of November, we head across to the Aussie hell of Mount Panorama Bathurst. Then it's back over to America in the penultimate round of the championship, where we take a visit to the famous Watkins Glen before we round off the championship on the 24th of November for the grand finale to be held back in Japan for the metropolis streets of Tokyo East clockwise, where we may learn which driver will be crowned the new champion of SMA Season 2. So that's our racing lineup for this season, but Levitius, please explain to us the details for tonight's race.
Indeed, Sean. So today we're going to be racing around the undulating corners of Grand Valley South. It's lined by sand, extremely challenging with the undulations and the negative and positive camber throughout the track, which means that the drivers have to really judge the corners well to make sure you maximize the grip without making a mistake. And on top of that, we've got an extremely long straight, which means lots of racing and outbreaking maneuvers can happen going to turn 2. And overall, I think it's going to be a fascinating race around here. It's a very compact circuit, but lots of opportunities to make some moves, with 40 opportunities going to turn 2. And overall, the walls also line very close, so it will bite back if you make a small mistake. Yeah.
Okay, and what are the race settings for today, Levitius?
Oh, today we've got one next tyre wear and fuel, which means that the tyre wear is not going to be a huge factor, but overall though, we're still going to see a little bit of variation in terms of how long you go on the medium tyres in the Mazda. Refueling is extremely fast, so we're not going to have to worry about fuel saving at all. It's going to be more of a sprint race throughout, and we're going to see some great action.
Okay, and just to add to that as well, we are doing 40 laps at the Grand Valley South, 10 turns at this very location. There will be a 10-minute qualifying ahead of a 40-lap race. Yes, softs and medium tyres are required. That is the racing tyres, of course, with a refueling speed of times 20. Now, Levitus, what car will the drivers be driving today?
Well, they'll be racing the Mazda Roadster, quite an iconic car in Gran Turismo 7 with its short wheelbase and quite on the nose balance. So it's going to be interesting to see how the drivers tackle this track, especially where you have to control the shift in weight throughout the circuit, trying to not lose the rear in many places, which has been a notorious issue with this car. And overall, controlling the way the car also shifts is going to be important. Seeing which gears people are using at the end of the straight will determine how well you can utilize the power of the car, because it's only got about 205 horsepower. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the drivers tackle that.
Okay, interesting stuff. It's certainly going to be a very intense encounter and a very unusual combo, but certainly I think the drivers will have put their practice in and really got accustomed to the car. However, that is the race details, but the driver lineup is as follows. So let's take a look. Okay, so onto our lineup for this evening in Tier 1. So we had 104 entrants going into seeding last week, and these drivers have been divided up into 7 tiers from the fastest times to the slowest times, determining your tier positioning for round 1. So these are the 14 fastest in SMA for the seeding, that is, to qualify into Tier 1. So TNR Panic Potato got the fastest time overall with a 1 minute 11.096. Then it was VSR Richard who finished in second position, just about 100th off of Panic Potato's time, with VSR JDJ qualifying in third position. Then it was TNR Deacon, great to have him back for SMA. He qualified in P4. P5 went to MGR Kennels, with VSR Nitro Merlin qualifying in P6. Then it was VSR Wolfie in P7, Puma Nutcap in P8, TNR Captain Slow in P9, and VSR Gilla in P10. Then it was Sam Jensen in P11, with TNR Savvy also going to be making his debut today. He qualified in P12. Then it was Puma Bridgens in P13. And then finally, TNR Ghost Riders in 14th. That is your lineup for Tier 1 this evening. So just to explain a little bit about the promotion and relegation system we have in place this season. So we have a total of 8 rounds this season. However, with the promotion and relegation system to come into play, it will split up this season into 2 halves. So the first 3 races, the top 3 from tiers 2 to 7, will be promoted to the tier above after each race result, whilst the bottom 3, 12th, 13th and 14th, will be relegated to the tier below. There'll be 1 dropped round score for the first 4 races. Your worst point score from the first 4 races will be deducted from your overall points tally, determining which tier you'll be placed for the rest of the season. However, admin does reserve the right to move drivers if absolutely necessary to ensure fairer racing and to benefit the drivers. Also worth mentioning, there will be an additional dropped round for the second half of the season, the last 4 races, with the same rules applied. Top 3 in each tier come the end of the season will earn a prize, with details to follow in the weeks to come. But best of luck to all the drivers across the 7 tiers, but certainly tier 1 that we're going to be covering tonight. So we're going to go for a very short break, but we'll be back to go onto the grid to see the drivers in action, with qualifying coming up very, very shortly. So back in a second. Okay, so this is going to be very, very interesting, and I'm so delighted to have Levitius with me today because, of course, Levitius, who, actually is the reigning champion of SMA, but he is not able to make it for this season. But it's really good to have you alongside me, Levitius, because, you know,
Thank you, Sean.
I would love to know your thoughts or the kind of mentality you would have approaching the first race of the season.
Well, like everyone says, it's a clean slate. Whatever has happened earlier in the year or whatever you've competed in, it's kind of forgotten now because you're in road cars especially, which is a very different style required for driving these cars because you've got limited grip. And the way you're going to approach the season is really, you need to first see the pecking order going into race one and see how people are actually handling it because you've got some preconception, maybe this person maybe is going to be around this pace, but maybe they're going to be faster or slower depending on what cars they're driving. The fact that there's also quite a few different cars coming up means that you have to be quite adaptable. So you can't really call it right now. It's you have the general suspects at the front, but it looks quite competitive with the mid to low 12s right now on track.
Right, okay, that's fair enough. I mean, I do wonder whether or not the tension will get to the drivers because it's one thing to set these really fast times in practice, but when it really comes to the crunch and when the pressure is really on, you know, who has got the nerves of steel and who may bottle it essentially. So I mean, Levitius, is it always about kind of not thinking about the occasion and just kind of focusing on the job ahead?
Definitely. I think with this situation as well, the driver's got like 6 opportunities to do a quali lap. It's quite a short lap, so you get quite a few chances to go and set a solid time. So I think we will see generally most drivers reach their best type of lap time roughly. So yeah, I think it's going to be quite interesting.
Okay, well, we do have a 10-minute qualifying ahead of this 40-lap race, and we're going to focus on, I think, Nutcap. I think he's the first driver released on circuit. Now, it's worth mentioning we are missing one driver for tonight, and that is
Jensen.
Sam Jensen, who, unfortunately, I'm not sure if he had internet issues or not, but unfortunately not able to make it tonight, and that will mean, unfortunately, he will get relegated into Tier 2 for round 2. So very, very unfortunate, but it is what it is in this 8-week season. But I just want to welcome in everyone that is tuned in today. Hopefully you're having a fantastic Monday evening. And do make sure if you are enjoying the broadcast, please do hit that like button. And if you are new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button as well, because we're still in our kind of early kind of infancy. There you go, infancy of a YouTube channel, and this is just our first year as a YouTube channel, and we are fast approaching 300 subscribers. So please be one of them people to add to our subscriber list and help us reach that 300 mark. It'll be much, much appreciated. But yes, it does look like Nutcap has got a bit of a gap to VSR JDJ. It looks like Nutcap really trying to set the pace amongst the pigeons, and Nutcap goes a little bit sideways through the turn there. Yeah, a little bit sideways, which would have cost him a little bit of time. So he did go a little bit hot into the corner. However, I mean, it's always important to set a decent banker lap, keep it on the circuit, don't pick up them penalties, I think, Levitius.
Well, JDJ is actually on a better lap than Nutcap by about 2 tenths right now. It was on a 40.1 coming to sector 2, and Nutcap was on a 40.3, so he's up by 2 tenths. JDJ was looking quite fast in the practice, so he's looking very competitive, and Richard as well, he's also looking quite good at sector 2, so let's see how they finish the lap in that very tricky final corner. Yeah,
Nutcap just coming across the line with a 1 minute 12.8. Here's JDJ coming across the line now with a 1 minute 12.631, 2.5 tenths quicker than Nutcup. Kennels comes across the line with a 1:15.7. Savvy up to P3 with a 1 minute 13.2, and Panic Potato has gone onto pole position, setting the early pace. He's beating Deacon by 9,000th of a second with a 1 minute 12.519. So that will be a 1 minute 12.528 for Deacon, which is great to have him back for SMA. Of course, he came second in season 1, runner-up to Levitius, and yeah, it's good to see him back because he goes a bit sideways, and well, you know,
he lost the rear.
He completely lost the rears there, but was able to save it there. So yes, this lap is wasted, but you know, managed to sort of keep control of the car and stay out of the way of the drivers behind. So yeah, the times are pretty fast. And do you think this is roughly the pace you was expecting, Levitius?
Well, the pace is there. A few of the drivers were purple by about a tenth of a second in Sector 1, so there's definitely a lot of opportunity with the slipstreaming of another driver. I think maybe you can gain maybe another couple of tenths of a second if you get a good positioning behind someone. Let's just see what the TNR guys can do, especially, because I think they're going to be trying to do something like that, but maybe not. They're making a few mistakes, though, but I think they can get away with it if they just try and coordinate a little bit. We'll have to see. Dylan's quite well placed behind Wolfie, which will help him get a nice little run into Sector 1 and then the start of Sector 2.
Yes, indeed. Well, there was a few times that came in, so I know that Richard went a little bit quicker on the last lap. Same as Savvy as well. Savvy with a 1 minute 12.7 and Richard with a 1 minute 12.8. Yeah, the times are...
Jonathan is about to finish his lap. I think he's on a much better lap, unless I'm mistaken. He's now crossing a line with a 1 minute 113.0, improved by 4.5 tenths, which is pretty solid, going up to P7.
Right, okay, I was scrambling to get to Giller there, but yeah, 1 minute 13 flat for VSR Giller then, so he's just over half a second off of the pole sitter that is Panic Potato, so he is you know, reasonably good pace there, but that is what is key, really, isn't it? With these cars, every tenth matters, and yeah, certainly very, very tight between the top 7 drivers, and even when you consider the top 10 drivers, separated by just over 8 tenths of a second, with VSR Nitro Merlin holding that top 10 position. Now, just trying to get the
I think you should look at P4 Savvy. He's half a tenth purple right now.
Okay, we shall get on board with Savvy now. He has got Puma Bridges just in front of him now. Is that going to be a hindrance for Savvy? I mean, is slipstream really a thing with these cars, Levitius?
Definitely a thing. You're going to gain about 0.3, 0.4 seconds down the main straight if you're about half a second behind someone. And it looks like, pardon to cut that off, but JJ is about a 10th purple, while Savvy has lost a little bit of time in Sector 2, but he's looking quite strong still. So let's see how he comes across the line now. JJ's about to cross the line. He's going to do a 1 minute 12.4. He goes purple on P1. Well, that was a very, very good lap. Very good lap.
Okay.
And Savvy across the line, and he lost a lot of time there, Savvy. He lost about 3 tenths of a second. I think he lost it because he was behind Fred, which is unfortunate because he had a really good opportunity to get pole position there at the time. But I think he's got maybe 2 more laps to go, and he could possibly snatch it.
Yeah, well, Captain Slow just improved as well. P7 for him, 1 minute 12.957. So doing well in the late embers of this qualifying session. Ghost Riders does improve a little bit, but will remain, I do believe, in 12th position with a 113.9. And then Deacon up on pole position then. Wow. 1 minute 12.316. I was just about to show JDJ as he crossed the line originally, but Deacon is now the fastest man on circuit, and it's almost as if like he hasn't been away, Levitius.
Honestly, that's kind of crazy. I didn't expect that from Deaky. He didn't have a lot of practice for this race, so seeing that, he must have absolutely nailed the lap, because that was the fastest lap I've seen so far. 0.3 is absolutely insane.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, absolutely on point. And can he go even quicker here? Because, of course, he's going to have less fuel. That means a little bit more acceleration. No, because we can already see as he comes across the line quite a bit slower. Maybe trying to sort of gap a little bit behind Nitro Merlin. Maybe use that slipstream, you know, kind of trust that Nitro Merlin's on a hot lap and use that slipstream to his advantage and maybe go a bit quicker than Vicious.
He can go a bit quicker, but he's not going to. But then I just want to put your attention to P13 Kennels. He's still 3.4 seconds behind pole position, so I think he's got a lot to prove now going across the line shortly. Hopefully he can get a better lap in here. It looks like it's going to be quite strong. 1 minute 12.6 goes up all the way to P4.
Wow.
Absolutely stunning lap. He's done a pretty good job for salvaging his quali. Almost could have been starting at the back, which is not ideal in this race car because the braking zones are quite short because you're not fast in the straights. So, not bad.
Yeah, not bad indeed, yeah. Really, really good time from Kennels. VSR Richard, surprised to see him as low as P7 at the moment. He's just about to come across the line now. He's looking quick here. And VSR Richard, okay, he actually went 9/10 slower than his previous best. So I was wrong there. I thought the start-finish line was a bit closer than it actually was there. But, yeah, surprised to see him as low as P7, I think, Liam.
It's a bit of a surprise. I think though this car is so competitive right now. You're splitting the top 7 by 4/10 of a second, so that could be just a little bit of a mistake in you, and you lose your rhythm, and then you're not going to be where you want to be. So it just highlights how competitive this field is, where we've got almost the whole top 10. I think the whole field is split by less than a second, if I recall. Or the top 12 is split by about a second, but then Ghost Rider's 1.2 off. But it's really competitive. Yeah.
Indeed, and Kennels wasn't able to improve there, just narrowly missing out by 600th of a second there. So he will remain in P5. In fact, he was replaced by Savvy Unchained in P4. Penny Potato down to P3 because JDJ is in P2. Can he improve? This will be his last lap. Can he beat Deaky's time here?
We have P12 as well. Wolfie coming across the line. He needs to improve to try and start higher than P12 here. I think he is slightly improved. It looks like he could do a solid lap here. So he crossed the line, a few seconds time, 11, 12, and he does improve a little bit, but doesn't take him up anywhere further. It's a bit of a disappointment in my opinion, but it's still a long race, 40 laps around here. He could still get something done, but he needs to really place cars right now.
Yes, he does. Well, that is qualifying done and dusted. So we will come back very shortly with the qualifying results. In fact, JDJ. Oh, actually, sorry, we have got JDJ, and I do apologise because the race time or the continuation time on qualifying is the lap time, I do believe. So we are going to see JDJ come around the corner into the tunnel for the last time in qualifying. Can he improve on his current best of a 1 minute 12.4 and get himself onto pole position? He needs a 10th here. And he comes across the line and he doesn't quite improve. Yeah, just misses out. Who's that behind him? Can't see. It is Nutcap. He's not going to improve. So that is qualifying over. We'll be back very shortly. I think. Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? I think I'm wrong. Who's coming around the final corner?
It's 20 seconds to go. 20 seconds.
All right, 20 seconds to go. Okay, well, they have put in their hot laps. So, yeah, we'll be back with the qualifying results. Okay, so qualifying on pole position was Deacon with that 1 minute 12.316. just a tenth down was VSR JDJ in P2. They'll be starting on row 1. Row 2 will have Panic Potato starting from P3 with a 1 minute 12.478. Starting alongside him will be Savvy Unchained with his 1 minute 12.628. He'll be starting in P4. Kennels with a good lap from him. He managed to get a 1 minute 12.645, just 17,000th of a second off of Savvy's time. He'll be starting on row 3 from P5. P6 is Nutcap with a 1 minute 12.699. With row 4, VSR Richard starting from P7. He grabbed a 1 minute 12.746. P8 was Puma Bridgens with a 1 minute 12.862. He'll be starting for P8. Then on row 5, we've got VSR Gilla with a 1 minute 12.879, and starting alongside him in P10 is TNR Captain Slow. Good to see him back with a 1 minute 12.957. And then on row 6, we've got VSR Nitro Merlin with a 1 minute 13.1. Starting alongside him in P12 is VSR Wolfie with his 1 minute 13.2. And then on his own on row 8, will be row 7 will be Ghost Riders starting from P13. So Levitius, that was a very, very close qualifying session. I mean, we are talking a second separating from P1 to P13. But what was your thoughts on that qualifying session?
I'm pretty interested to see what happens in this race. The race pace can be really important, but generally speaking, I think the top 6, top 7 are quite the regulars in my opinion, except for Savvy. Savvy's debut is looking really strong alongside Fred's with tier 1. A P8 really solid, only half second off. And then I think Captain Slow, it is P10, but he hasn't really been in Pool 1 for a while, so that's actually quite a solid performance for him, all things considered. I think it's going to be quite interesting, and I think the race is starting.
It is indeed. It is indeed. So, we have got Deacon and VSR JDJ that are starting on the front row. They're going to lead us away in the very first round of the SMA Season 2, Round 1. We've got 5 red lights. Lights are out and away we go, and looks like Deaky got a very good start ahead of JDJ. Panic Potato still remains in P3. Savvy also having a good start as well in P4. Kennels has got the inside line in the P5, but in fact they went sort of toe-to-toe, Panic Potato and Savvy Unchained for turn 1, but they will remain how they are with Kennels in P5, Nutcap in P6, Puma Bridges up into P7, VSR Richard down 1 position into P8, Gilla P9, Ghost Riders P10, and then we got Wolfie, Captain Slow and Nitro Merlin occupying the positions below. So we got DK still leading the race at the moment, but JDJ trying to fight off Panic Potato, who is literally just a hair's breadth away from him in P3. So yeah, it's looking very tight. Just behind though, with Savvy trying to fight off Kennels in the background, and then even behind him,
pretty close.
It's very, very close, isn't it, between Nutcap and Kennels? Both of them giving respect to each other, but it's how it is at the moment with Nutcap having to tuck back into P6. Yeah, well behaved from the 2 drivers, but certainly, quite a lot coming off the medium tyres, and something I didn't notice. Yeah, I did not expect that at all, Levitius.
Well, I don't think this is possibly the right call. The softs can last 39 laps, but the fresh mediums weren't that much slower, so it's an interesting strategy call because the softs at the end, the front left especially, is going to be very worn. So yes, you can get the initial undercut, but is it going to be worth it when you're like maybe the last 5 laps of the race having a lot more wear? We'll have to see.
Yeah, well, the 5 drivers staying on the medium tyres was Deacon in first, Panic Potato in second, Savvy in third, Ghost Riders now promoted up to 4th, and TNR Captain Slow into 5th, and then it will be JDJ that does come out, who is in P6 right now. He's on the soft tyres, he's got half a tank of fuel, with Nutcap just behind him with a little bit less fuel, but in P7 gets in front of Kennels out of the pit lane, with Puma Bridges occupying P9, VSR Richard 10th position, and then Giller, Wolfie and Nitro Merlin occupy the 3 positions below. Now, of course, 12th and 13th with 14th already declared as Jensen, yes, Deaky, Paddy Potato and Savvy Unchained into the pits, and then it's Captain Slow and Ghost Riders duking it out for the race lead. Ghost Riders has the outside line, so Captain Slow will have the optimal line as we go into turn 1, and he will inherit the race win. But what I was going to say was the bottom positions with Jensen already declared as 14th position. 12th and 13th will be the...
I want you to keep P6, keep your eye on P6. They're going to come out the pit side by side, really close between DK and JDJ here. Yes. And the undercut seems like it didn't actually pay off for JDJ. I think he overfueled the car slightly, as he's going to just come up alongside Panic Potato. He just misses out. I think he could have actually capitalized a little bit more there. He was within the pit delta, so I think he maybe overfueled the car because he lost a little bit of time to the other drivers. But it looks line astern right now. His undercut did not work out.
No, it didn't. But yeah, you know, still very, very close indeed, though. Deaky just 0.6 of a second in front of Panic Potato, and JDJ sniffing the rear exhaust of Panic Potato. So we do know that Panic Potato is the Minister of Defence, but JDJ, we know that he's a extremely clever and competitive driver, and Panic Potato will definitely have to have his wits about him, I think, Liam.
Definitely. I think at the moment, everyone's just trying to behave themselves and ease into the race, because trying to get a rhythm in this car around here and within the slipstream, there's no risks needed right now. JDJ is exactly where he needs to be. He might go for a move on Dylan right now, but we'll have to see. Panic Potato might defend this position going into turn 2. And he doesn't. Well, there we go. He's just going to let him through.
Well, Levitius, I just got a comment on P6 because Savvy was challenging Nutcap, but Nutcap has got the inside line, and Savvy isn't able to take advantage. And Nutcap is going to sweep in front of him to stay in P6. Savvy down into P7, Kennels P8. So, as you mentioned, with the tyre strategies, there's really bit him on the back side, whereas particularly Savvy was looking rather strong. He was up with Panic Potato, but has now sunk behind Nutcap, with Kennels breathing down his neck in P8. But
oh no, Kennels! Oh, he almost lost it. Kennels almost lost it. He dipped his wheels into the dirt, but he managed to regain composure there. I think you may want to show your viewers that, because that was a very, very well kept save there. Oh no, Kennels! I spoke too soon. He lost the position to Richard, and now he's entering the final corner. And he's still sliding the car. His tires are full of dirt. It's not ideal for him. But at least he didn't get damaged, because if he had heavy damage, that's race over for him.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I'm just keeping an eye on Deaky at the moment, because he is now going to leapfrog Captain Slow and Ghost Riders into the race lead on lap 5. He has got a 1.3 second lead over Panic Potato in P2, and JDJ is sunk back a little bit, actually, to about a second. Well, he's closed down to 9/10 of a second, but even so, you know, he was on his rear bumper, but now finds himself a little bit cut adrift to Panic Potato. Nutcap is 1.5 seconds behind, with Savvy breathing down his neck in P5. So can Nutcap keep this up or not? I was going to come to the replay, however, with so much action going on at the moment,
it's
just
ridiculous.
Don't have the time to. But yeah, Nutcap is defending for his life at the moment, but you know, having to be aware that, of course, they don't want to be battling too much, because otherwise JDJ is going to be able to pull away. There was a slight moment there from Savvy in the background as well, so that would have cost him a little bit of time. But they are quite comfortable to the drivers behind, with Richard just behind now. But let's look on board with Savvy Unchained as they go side by side down the straight. Savvy does have the extra speed down the straight, but he has also got the outside line. Nutcap, well, in fact, he does power past him. I thought Savvy was going to switch to the inside, and he does. Nutcap backing off a little bit earlier there, and it was a great move from Savvy Unchained, Levitius.
I think it was quite predictable with how the slipstream is right now. I've noticed it's so strong that I think you can get past someone before even the braking zone of turn 2. So if I was these drivers right now and having that information, I would try and use that to my advantage. Oh, JJ, he just went completely off the track. What happened there? P5.
Okay, let's have a look.
He just went off the track. I don't know what happened there. I think he lost the rear going into turn 7, and he just dipped his wheels into the dirt.
Well, we're right on board with JDJ now. So as he came through the, yeah.
Oh, that is a massive mistake. He was looking so strong for at least a podium.
Yeah, he was indeed. Yeah, it was a good spot there, Liam. Yeah, just caught his left-hand wheels onto the dirt, and that was enough for him to go sideways. He did keep the car, but did lose 2 positions to Savvy and Nutcap. So things going from strength to strength for both Savvy and Nutcap. As Nutcap looks to slingshot his way down the inside, but Savvy does close the door on him for the time being, so will remain in P3, although he does just graze the wall on the outside, which would have lost him a little bit of time. Nutcap trying it around the outside. Is Nutcap going to make it work? Yes, he does. What a move from Nutcap. That was, as Levi said, a sensational move from Nutcap, showing us how it's done as he goes a little bit sideways in the left to right hand, the right to left hander, and yeah, fantastic move. But we will stay on board with this battle because Nutcap hasn't escaped the clutches of Savvy. Savvy clearly feeling a little bit frustrated by getting outfoxed by Nutcap, but also he does need to be aware that JDJ is just behind him in P5 as well. So will they be working in tandem to try to get past Nutcap, because Nutcap is a bit of a sitting duck right now, and Savvy does draw.
He's going to get a slingshot on him.
Yeah, he does draw alongside him. Let's look on JDJ as well from his point of view. He's going to go through the middle of them, and can he make it work? Wow, this is going to be a fantastic move, but Nutcap looks like Nutcap. Whoa, they're going to be 3 abreast. They're going to be 3 abreast, and they're still 3 abreast. And I can't see on that move, but Jesus Christ, this is so close and intense. And it looks like Savvy has got the better of the other 2 to move up into P3. Nutcap still on the outside, the inside of JDJ. As he pushes JDJ into the wall, and that's going to give JDJ a half-second penalty for cutting track limits as well.
Damage, Sean.
And damage
as well.
Yes.
Oh, it's race over. Oh no, that is after that. Oh, that was such an amazing battle between the 3 drivers, but I think there was a bit of a pinch point going into turn 5. I think that was inevitable to happen though. It's 2 going to 1, especially around that corner where the track narrows significantly, especially with the wall on the outside. I think they should have backed out eventually, even though they managed to display some really amazing driving standards there. I think it was time to let go to it, guys, and go to the next lap there. But unfortunately, JDJ's got damaged. He can try and salvage a bit here, but he's going to be losing maybe about a couple of tenths.
Well, Levitis, we still got the battle roaring on between Nutcap and Savvy, and Nutcap does get the overspeed around the outside to move back up into P3, and Savvy again having to settle down into P4 now. Obviously, with all this battling though, and JDJ, well, I know he's got damage to that car, and he will have to serve that half-a-second penalty, but that is still going to come into focus for him should they keep battling on. But JD.
Kendall's in the barriers as well now. P6. He's off. He's in the dirt. He's got damage as well now. Wow. Oh, it's all coming. It's all happening now.
Yes, it is indeed, because Kennels does lose 2 positions to VSR Richard, moving up into P7 and Captain Slow in P8. Kennels down into P9 now. I really wanted to show the crash or the incident, but I've had to save the 3 abreast overtaking move, because that was absolutely epic stuff. And when I get a chance to, because SMA never give me the opportunity to rest.
Time now. They're not too close to each other, so I think maybe you can have a look at it now.
Okay. So we'll have a look on this replay. So we saw JDJ go through the middle of them, but you know, of course, you know, the track wide enough for the 3 cars as we come into the downhill S's, and it was just Savvy Unchained that just had the overspeed and managed to pull in front of Nutcap and JDJ, and I think this replay just cuts out as there was a little push from Nutcap on JDJ into the wall. In fact, it did cover it, so I'm quite impressed actually. Yeah, Nutcap has developed a 7/10 of a lead gap to Savvy Unchained in P3 and P4 respectively. I heard squealing in the background. What is going on there? Okay, it was just a slide then, but Giller up into P6, Richard P7, Captain Slow all over the back bumper of VSR Richard in P8. Kennels has now lost a bit of time. Of course, he has got that front aero damage to his car. He's losing time to the drivers in front, where he is in P9, and VSR Wolfie now starting to catch up to him in P10. 1.5 seconds is the gap. Nitro Merlin is up to P11. Puma Bridgens, who we did see a lot higher up originally, now down into P12, but still on the back of Nitro Merlin in P11. Then Ghost Rider's on his own in P13, Liam.
Unfortunately, I think I saw Ghost Rider maybe make a few mistakes in a couple of laps right now. I think he's just a bit flustered right now. He needs to try and get into a rhythm because he keeps dipping his wheel onto the dirt and also cutting a couple of the corners, which loses a lot of time with the penalty. He says, Nutcap, as I say that, gets a penalty. Oh no, it's not ideal because he just broke out of the slipstream, and now Savvy's back in it with that penalty. So Savvy just has to stay just a little bit behind him, and he'll be back into that all-important slipstream, which he can gain so much time from.
Indeed, and JDJ has now got a 1 second penalty as well. So his race is starting to fade away a bit, I would say, where he's still obviously got that front aero damage. And with Giller and Richard just behind him now, surely... Oh, he's into the pits. There we go. JDJ into the pit, so he's going to lose a gaggle of positions as Savvy Unchained, Giller, Richard, Captain Slow, Kennels, Wolfie, Nitro Merlin, Puma Bridgens as well. I think JDJ, yeah, he's still not released, and he's getting into Ghost Rider's territory here, where Ghost Rider's just coming up to the start-finish line now. So JDJ is just getting released now, and Ghost Riders moves up into P12. So JDJ at the back of the grid right now, Liam.
John, I don't know if this is the right decision. Obviously, you want to repair your car, but will you gain back 20 odd seconds by pitting and repairing the car, or just hanging out there trying to have a scrap and maybe salvaging maybe a couple of points? I feel like he should have just stayed out. That's what I would have done. So we'll have to see if he maybe catches a few people, but maybe his best finishing position now is only P12, where he could have just made it difficult for people around him by staying out there. Obviously, he'll be a bit slower, but I think he could have done a bit of more of a job there. But we'll find out and see. Maybe a few people also make mistakes, which is very easy around here. And he does have amazing pace.
Yes, well, VSR Richard now sizing up an opportunity on teammate Giller, so he will propel himself up to P5. We've also got side-by-side action between Nutcap and Savvy, with Nutcap with the inside line, and he is going to take third position away from Savvy, so Savvy will settle back down into P4. He's still going for it now, though. Savvy, who I've got to say is probably the most daringest of drivers I've ever seen. He's literally going for any gap that he can go through, but yeah, just picked up that 1 second penalty, where I think he's just yeah, maybe if he'd just settled down and just stayed behind Nutcap, maybe he wouldn't have picked up that penalty, but yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, and certainly keeps us on the edge of our seats, Liam.
Definitely. I just think right now, with how powerful the slipstream is, drivers should be trying to actually work with one another. Obviously, they're on separate drivers, separate teams. But overall, I think with how powerful it is, just using the slipstream to gain you time over the drivers ahead, which will help them a bit more than scrapping in the very tight corners where you lose a handful of time. So let's see, maybe he has a chance to come back and Nutcap makes a mistake. But at the moment, I think that's over right now. Nutcap's got a bit more pace in him, so he maybe is going to be racing with Richard now and Giller, and let's see what happens.
Oh, slight bit of contact between Giller and, oh, it looks like Captain Slow. Down the inside, he's going to take a 2 for 1 here as Richard got pushed out wide. Is Captain Slow going to be able to take it? No, Richard does force his way through. So yeah, we, well, I thought maybe Captain Slow would have got the 2 for 1 there, but yeah, slight mistake there from Giller as he pushed his teammate a little bit wide, got a little bit late on the brakes, but Captain Slow, yeah, wasn't daring enough to send it on the outside, but...
Oh, P11, Nitro Merlin's crashed. He's crashed. They were all in a gaggle of cars, about 4 of them, and there was a massive accident. I don't know how that happened. I think he just lost it on the exit of turn 6 and he dipped his wheel on the dirt, and this track bites, Sean. This track bites back. It's really challenging.
Okay, we're looking aboard with Nitro Merlin now then. So Nitro Merlin he's done exactly the same thing as JDJ, but this time dips more of his wheel into the sand, and the momentum carried him into the barrier, and yeah, that certainly has to hurt. So yeah, Nitro Merlin is he still in P11 now?
He definitely is.
He is, right, but he is coming into the pits himself to repair that damage and maybe get onto a fresh set of soft tyres then. So that means JDJ should be able to propel his way to P12. But yeah, I mean, look, we're looking at JDJ, as you said, Liam, you know, the gap to Ghost Riders is 6.2 seconds. He's 42 seconds behind the race leader, and that is Deacon. Yeah, it is predicted that, you know, provided they don't crash, they should be able to keep them tyres for the remainder of the race, even though we still have 25 laps to go. But the gaps between Deacon and Panic Potato is 1.7 seconds, so it's the gap hasn't really changed too much between the two drivers. Pretty solid between both of them. Just looking at the last time from Deaky, it was a 1:12.7, 1:13.1 from Panic Potato, so pretty similar with the gaps. And Nutcap now has managed to pull away from Savvy by some distance now. It's 2 seconds.
Richard and Captain Slow racing into turn 2. That really good battle. Donald Captain Slow got ahead of him quite effortlessly, actually. I think Richard let him through. I think he doesn't want to lose too much time. He's trying to keep this as clean as possible to not lose as much time and try and catch up to Savvy, who's about 1.2 seconds ahead now.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. We was just looking on the replay there of Captain Slow's manoeuvre, and as you said, you know, he kept to his lines, braked perfectly for the corner, and Richard just allowed him through, so to avoid losing too much time there. So we'll see if Richard and Giller can come fighting back, but so far so good for Captain Slow, who is now just 1 second behind Savvy. It does look like Savvy's made a little bit of a mistake there, because he has fallen back from Nutcap. So the gap now is under a second between Savvy and Captain Slow. I don't think a move will happen, but certainly with that slipstream, Captain Slow should get pulled along to get a little bit closer to Savvy. So certainly a battle could be brewing up here in the coming laps here, Liam.
At the moment, Sean, I don't understand why Captain Slow is defending so hard, because he's going to be losing time to Savvy in that really important slipstream, as he's now just dipped out of the 1 second zone. So I feel like if he just held his line, Richard would have realized, wait, let's think the bigger picture here. We have a chance to catch up to P4 here, but now, because he defended, he lost about 0.2 of a second, and he's now outside of the slipstream zone. And it's actually given Savvy an opportunity to break away, unless he makes a mistake. So we'll have to find out. Let's just see if Captain Slow, apologies, can actually just get a few clean corners together to break back into the slipstream range, which he seems to be doing quite well.
Yes, he does, yeah. I think what I've seen in the last couple of laps is feel like Savvy's weakness is in the last sector. He seems to be quite slow just before the tunnel and then the sort of the speed that he carries through that corner. So this is where Captain Slow is making up a little bit of time, but the gap is still 8.5 tenths of a second between the two drivers. VSR Richard is just 4 tenths behind Captain Slow in P6, and then Giller just behind as well. So it could be a case of just
JDJ in the wall. He hit the wall really quite hard. He's not having a great day in P12. He is closing in on Ghost Rider, but is that the important position to not be relegated, correct? Is it P12, 13 and 14?
Yes, it is indeed, yeah.
Yeah, so it's imperative that JJ gets past Ghost Rider so he doesn't get demoted, because having a P12 and another demotion round is not ideal for the championship if he wants to win it. So he needs to get past Ghost Riders. That's his main goal right now. Just finish P11 or as high as possible. He's just in the view of JJ, and I think he's going to be closing in maybe in about 8 laps time, maybe about half second per lap. So we'll have to see later in the race.
Yeah, indeed. But something I did notice with JDJ though was he didn't actually pick up damage from slamming into the wall, so he got very, very lucky there. So he may well
picks up a penalty though. Oh, Sean, he picks up another penalty though. It's unfortunate for him. Really unfortunate.
Wow. So just really shooting himself in the foot there. Yeah, it picks up that half a second penalty. He has closed that deficit
P9,
by...
Sorry, going into turn 2, there's a massive battle between Kennels and Wolfie. They're defending each other quite hard.
Yeah, and Puma Bridges. Puma Bridges with the inside line and keeps his car there. Kennels has to give him the space. Is Puma Bridges going to take that position away from him? No, he's not. He's going to have to back out for the time being. That's the wise decision down the hill in the S's, but certainly got very close for comfort, I think, for Kennels, where it did look like he was going to lose that position. Kennels goes a little bit deep through the right-hander, which really doesn't do any favours for the left-hander there. But Kennels has closed the gap somewhat to Wolfie to about 3 tenths of a second. But yeah, certainly a very close battle. But I think actually in front now, there's an even closer battle going on, where Captain Slow, well, he is getting closed down by Richard, but actually Savvy has pulled a 1.2 second lead over Captain Slow now. So he has improved the margin by about 4 or 5 tenths of a second. Richard isn't going to be able to make the move on Captain Slow for turn 1, and Giller again probably playing the smart game, just staying behind his teammate in P7, but is still battles going on. It does look like Puma Bridges has made the move on Kennels then to move up into P9. We'll have a quick look on the replay there.
It's quite a straightforward pass though, Sean. His damage is kind of just holding him back right now. He couldn't actually make a clean move. Kennels is actually on the attack, but because he's got the damage, it really makes him struggle to get the little bit of extra kilometers per hour down the straight. So yeah, Puma Bridges just had to defend just a little bit, and he kept his position.
Yeah, do you know what? I forgot that Kennels had damage there. So Kennels taking your advice there, Liam, you know, not deciding to dive into the pits to repair the damage, just kind of living with it and hoping for the best, really. So, you know, in fairness to Kennels, I think he's doing a really good job staying to the back of Puma Bridges and really just hoping for a mistake of the cars in front, I think, Liam.
Definitely. I actually, it's been quite interesting because Kennels wasn't too far behind JDJ, and they picked up damage within a couple of laps from another. So it's going to be interesting to see if it was actually worth pitting or staying out with the damage, because they both have the exact same. They had the exact same damage. So it's going to be interesting to see. At the moment, he has to make up another 18.5 seconds as JDJ picks up another penalty. Listen, I don't even want to jinx this guy, but he just needs to get into P11 and try and secure his position into Pool 1, because it's just not it's just one of those days you need to forget as a driver. I've had a few of those as well. Just move on from it. Take it as your drop round and then come into round 2, because it's just everything that could go wrong is going wrong right now.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Deaky is certainly, for one driver, really going well for him. His first race back in the SMA since, season 1, which obviously we've had the MSA Cup in between. So good to see Deacon back, and he's certainly a man on form. He is just under 2.5 seconds in front of Panic Potato. But Panic Potato, of course, one of your teammates, Liam, and he did really well in his debut season. As I thought Deaky spun out there, but he didn't. It was just a screeching of the tyres. But Paddy Potato, your teammate, of course, who did well in his debut season for in the MSA Cup. Do you think he's got high hopes going into this season?
From what I heard, he's taking it quite relaxed right now. He's got a lot of his teammates around him, so he races them quite often. So at the moment, I think he's just trying to take it race by race to see where he sits with the road cars, because he's still quite new to the game, especially on the wheel with the road cars. So I think at the moment he's doing a great job. Deaky's a veteran. The fact that he's only 2.5 seconds behind, he's got very similar pace to Deaky. I just think he's got a few laps where he's an outlier lap where he makes a mistake. So I think if he just cleans it up a little bit, I think he can match Deaky. But Deaky's just being absolutely monumental. 12.7, 12.7, 12.7, absolutely insane stuff. A really great job. And there's actually a battle short for P12. JDJ, the elusive position to stay out of the drop zone, is looking very close. He's gained quite a few seconds. I think Ghost Rider had a penalty from the previous lap. Yeah, he got a 14.9. He lost like 3 seconds.
Right, yeah, I see him now. Yeah, very close, and yes, it's very important. Not just the drivers battling at the top end of the grid, but also the drivers towards the bottom end of the grid, because as Liam pointed out, it is P12, 13 and 14 that get relegated into Tier 2 for round 2. Now JDJ is currently occupying that last or 12th place, but he's got a good run on Ghost Riders. Ghost Riders didn't quite give him the space there, and JDJ had to back off for the time being, but I think JDJ is now sniffing blood here, Liam.
Definitely, and I've also noticed though that JDJ has got quite a bit more wear than Ghost Riders. I don't know if he's just leaning on the front left a little too much, but it's gonna be a bit more noticeable later in the race. We've got so many long right-handers around here. As he heads into turn 6 and then turn 7, he is definitely faster, but he needs to make sure he times it correctly so he catches him going onto the main straight, because it's quite challenging to overtake these off-camber corners going out of sector 2 to sector 3 right now. He just needs to stay relatively close. You don't want to be too close and you lose your momentum, so I think he's going to set him up, do a bit of a wider line, and then cut back. I think he's have a really good opportunity going into turn 2 in the first hard braking zone, as he gets an amazing run. Oh, what an amazing job by JJ. He's getting there, he's gaining. It's a very long straight, so you can read a book on it. As he's now going to pull out of the slipstream. Is he going to take the inside or the outside line? I prefer the outside, because it becomes a bit more camber on the outside. Oh, there's a bit of rubbing as well. And he enters turn 2 and he makes the move stick. Is Ghost Rider's going to defend? Ooh, he does.
He does.
Great job.
He is really indeed, and they're still going to be side by side then as we exit the turn. In fact, he got a nose in front, but JDJ is going to pull alongside him, and JDJ is going to sweep in front. He gives him the space, but Ghost Rider, no. There's a slight bit of contact. JDJ just about able to save it there, but yet Ghost Riders with the slightest of touches there in a section where you really don't want to be going too wide there, isn't it, Liam?
Well, it's definitely a bit naughty from Ghost Rider. He missed the apex going down the hill into turn 4. So I think, in my opinion, he should have given that back, because he didn't have a full car with the head. So it's a bit naughty, but JDJ's gonna have another opportunity as he just sends it down the inside on the last corner. Oh, sorry, they didn't make it, a little bit of rubbing, but it's pretty good. Oh, gents, keep it clean out there. Come on.
Well, you could definitely feel the tension in the comms studio right now. JDJ has got the nose in front, and probably more importantly as well, has got the inside line as well. So Ghost Riders, unless JDJ makes a mistake, hasn't really got anywhere to go here, and JDJ should now inherit the 11th position. But it is whether or not Ghost Riders, I think. hits the wall and picks up damage, more importantly, from that. And now, well, it's looking like it's inevitable for Ghost Riders, Liam.
I think it's now kind of set in stone, and he's going to be finishing P12. But he is a valiant effort overall. He did make it difficult for JDJ, and he spins out. It's unfortunate for him. It's just one of those races now that just needs to try and consolidate, just get to the finish of the race. He just dips his wheel just like the other two drivers before him in the dirt, and his car obviously just cannot regain traction, and he loses the left rear. It just shows how the track just bites back here, Sean, especially turn 6 and 7. It's the most difficult parts of the track, especially in this car, how pointy it is on the nose, that the rear can be lost really easily. But I think, all things considered, Ghost Rider's first appearance in Tier 1, he should be happy about it, even though he is quite far behind now. The damage is not going to help him at all. But maybe I'd like to see him in the season, or Tier 1 in the future.
Maybe indeed. And something I've just noticed, Liam, is I think Panic Potato's made a mistake, because the gap between him and Deaky is 11 seconds, and Panic Potato now just 1.8 seconds in front of Nutcap. So I'm pretty sure there was a much bigger margin between Panic Potato and Nutcap, and certainly it was about, I think it was 2.5 seconds last time we checked on Deaky and Panic Potato.
We were way too focused on P12 right there. I think he must have made a small mistake. Maybe he was in turn 6 and 7 as well. He lost 7 seconds, didn't get damaged though, which is really important. But this now brings Nutcap into the mix right now, as also has a bit better tire wear Nutcap. So maybe a bit of a late race resurgence from Nutcap. Maybe he can secure him a P2. And Savvy's not too far behind with Richard as well, and Captain Slow. So at the moment, I think Panic Potato's kind of shot himself in the foot here. He had a guaranteed P2, but let's see, it's not at the end of the world, but he just needs to now just consolidate and just guarantee he gets his P2. Geeky's so far ahead, so I think he just needs to now bring it home. At the moment, I think the battle for P2 and P3, the podium positions, is going to look really interesting.
Well, something I've just noticed, Liam, right? So now, I didn't really get to do much testing here, but we've got 13 laps left of the race, and something I've noticed with Captain Slow is his fuel. It's a lot less than the drivers in front. Do you think he's got enough fuel here?
From what I remember, this car only uses about 1.5% to 2% per lap, unless it depends. If you're using fourth gear through the entire straight, you do burn about another 0.5% of fuel, which he is doing right now. He is revving out fourth gear, so yeah, he short shifts to fifth just to save a bit of fuel. But you just need to basically just save a little bit of fuel by shifting to fifth. Ideally in someone's slipstream, so you save a bit more fuel on top of that because you're spending less time on the straights. So I think he'll be just safe. From what I saw yesterday in the practice.
A killer into the barrier on turn 2 or turn 1, and I only saw the back end of that and a clunk onto the metal railing. So let's have a look on board with Giller now and see exactly how that happened. But he went a bit sideways, and then as he tried to correct it, went into the fencing on the left hand side. So that is costly for Giller.
Battle for P8 and 9. Oh, there's some massive contact between Wolfie and Puma Bridges. I don't know what happened there. I caught the end of that, but there was some little saucy action right there going into turn 5. I think you might have to try and check the replays. Kendall's now side by side with Wolfie with the damage. He's doing a really good job considering he's got damage, but I think it's inevitable that he's going to lose pace again. But the fact that he's still fighting for all these positions is actually amazing, and this is bringing JDJ into the mix. But he's still not far away. But you never know. If someone gets damaged, makes a mistake, he gets P10. It starts looking a little bit better for him.
Yeah, indeed. Well, it looks like Kennels has got a good run on VSR Wolfie. Now, Wolfie will obviously take up the inside line and make it as difficult as he possibly can on Kennels. Kennels, of course, as he comes out of the slipstream, then doesn't have that raw power down the last part of the straight. And Puma Bridges almost tempted to send one on the inside of Kennels there, but will remain back in P10. But once this calms down a bit, then we may have a look at what happened to Puma Bridges. But at the moment, Kennels trying to keep the pressure on Wolfie right now. Tries to keep it as tidy as possible. And yeah, gets a good run out of the corner to keep the pressure up on Wolfie. The gap is just under 0.4 of a second as Wolfie goes a little bit deep, which is going to compromise his line for the next turn. And I guess, Liam, this is the most important turn here as we come into the entrance of the tunnel and onto the straight. Does look like Kennels has actually got a really good run here again. Maybe a little bit of deja vu here because I think Wolfie will swing. Well, maybe not swing to the inside because maybe.
He doesn't have enough top speed. He just doesn't have enough top speed. The damage is just so detrimental.
Okay, so maybe it is the right time for me to come on board with Puma Bridgens to see exactly what happened to him earlier. So Puma Bridgens was in P8. So let's. Puma Bridgens went wide. There's Wolfie.
Oh.
Okay, so it kind of wasn't. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was Wolfie's fault there. I think it was just, well, he had nowhere to go. When you're going at that speed, you know, there's only so much you can do, really, isn't it? And, you know, hope and pray that nothing's going to come from it. But yeah, as Puma Bridges went wide, there was contact there. I was trying to get it back onto Puma Bridges. Slight bit of contact from Kennels on Puma Bridges as well as he tried to save his car. So yeah, a little bit untidy from the trio, but nevertheless, no harm done for Puma Bridges.
It was quite similar to the Nutcap and Jelly J incident where 2 into 1, especially into turn 5 there, it's not simple. The track obviously narrows and then contact happens. It's just trying to keep away from going side by side to that corner where there's a lot of dirt on the inside, which makes you understand the person, which is what caught out the two drivers right there.
Okay, well, I just can't help but think with Captain Slow, with his fuel situation as the flashing red light flashes, you know, I can't help but think that he needs to do a bit of fuel saving here because everyone else I'm looking at has got quite a bit more fuel than him. So Richard just 0.8 of a second behind.
Close. He's looking relatively close in terms of the fuel as well. It's obviously a little bit better than Captain Slow. I do think, though, hopefully Captain Slow is aware of this, that, you know, there is another 9 laps to go, that he isn't going to run out of fuel because that will be deja vu to another TNR driver in the Motorsport South Africa Cup. If you remember, Panic Potato ran out of fuel, so we don't want to see that again, which is really unfortunate that happens, though.
Yeah, indeed. It's certainly going to be nip and tuck, I think, but I guess we'll find out quite shortly. But certainly something I have noticed is, again, a bit of a battle brewing up between Nutcap and Savvy, fighting it out for that P3. Now, the gap is 0.6 of a second. It's drastically come down. It does look like Panic Potato, sorry, has pulled a gap on
you might want to
Nutcap
look
now.
at his fuel as well. Panic Potato's fuel is actually worse than Captain Slow, so this is interesting. We might have to see how this goes because that's very low fuel right there. That's about maybe 7% left, 7 or so percent. So it's looking really tight. I don't know if he's going to make it. Surely he'll make it. He wouldn't want to make that mistake again. So let's just find out and see. But at the moment, it's looking a little sketchy. But this car doesn't use a lot of fuel, though. Remember, it doesn't use a lot of fuel. Maybe we wish we had a bit more information to know if they actually have enough fuel, but we'll have to see. Maybe he short shifts to 5th a bit earlier, but it seems like he's happy to rev out in 4th, so maybe he is safe.
Yeah,
let's find out later on.
Well, just reading the chat, and thank you so much to Sting's Racing Community. So he is saying that once the red light flashes is 10%. Now, do we know how many percent it equates to per lap? Because that would be handy.
It's about a 1 to 1.2, 1.3%. So it depends if you rev out 4th gear on the straight, though. That's the big determining factor. So we have to see now. It's looking really a bit too close for comfort. It is really looking too close for comfort.
Yeah, it is indeed. Well, we know that Captain Slow, he's been on the flashing red light for the last, 3 laps? So maybe 4 laps. So his situation is definitely a little bit precarious, and I think that something I have noticed that you know, Savvy is just starting to pull away a little bit, and you can see with Savvy's fuel, he's got a lot more fuel. He's nowhere near the red light at the moment. Nutcap, however, it has got the flashing red light. Now, we do know that Nutcap is normally quite a strategic racer, and he normally sort of nails everything to a T, but yeah, certainly Savvy in this position can literally rev out the car to its max and really push to try to at least pile on the pressure on Nutcap for that last step on the podium, Liam.
At the moment, I think he can do it. He's looking really comfortable. He needs to try and keep this momentum going. He's got better tire wear, I think, a little bit better tire wear than Panic Potato, and Savvy behind is also getting quite close to Nutcap. If they can do what I said before, where they can work together on the straights, just slingshot past one another for maybe 2 or 3 laps, you can gain maybe about 0.2 a second per lap, which will be quite. It's still they're quite far away, but one mistake away, and he can really do it. Have to see though.
Well, look at the gap dwindle down between Nutcap and Savvy. We can visually see it now, and Savvy gets a good run on Nutcap. The gap is 0.3 of a second. Nutcap weaves from the left to the right hand side. Nutcap is going to take up the inside line. Savvy's going to pull to the outside. Is Savvy going to have the power to get past Nutcap? It does look like this is the case, and Savvy does move up into P3 ahead of Nutcap, and now it's just going to be interesting if Nutcap can stay to the back of him and maybe grab that position away from him towards the final embers of the race, Liam.
I want to just highlight something. Panic Potato is short shifting a lot right now. He was short shifting going down the main straight. He shifted to 5th well before the rev bar. I think he's just realized something. He's not got enough fuel right now. You'll see right now, he's short shifting quite a lot early. You want to actually rev this car up quite a bit. He's going into 5th gear at the start of Sector 3, which tells me, he has not got enough fuel, which I noticed earlier in the race. So, this is not good. He's going to be losing at least a couple of tenths a second per main straight. So I think you want to pay attention to the delta possibly. It's 2.1 seconds at the start of the straight, and it's really going down by a couple of hundredths every tick, so it's looking quite intense.
It certainly is. I mean, we've already got a battle between Savvy and Nutcap, but with Nutcap, well, I mean, definitely his fuel is not as intense as Panic Potatoes right now. We have got 5 laps remaining as we start lap 36 of 40.
He lost 4 seconds, Sean. Panic Potatoes lost 4 tenths a second on one straight. It's looking really close, but I think Savvy is going to catch him in a couple of laps time now. This is a train smash. Absolute train smash. Yeah,
and it could be Nutcap as well joining him, because he is still very close to Savvy in P4, just 3.5 tenths the gap. Captain Slow.
JJ's in the pits. JJ's in the pits.
Whoa,
what?
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
He's in the pits.
Can we quickly...
Oh, okay, no, Ghost Rider's is far behind. Ghost Rider's is a whole minute behind. Don't worry, everyone. Everything's okay. Well,
yeah, JDJ had damage, so decided to repair the damage. And, yeah, Ghost Rider was... is massively far behind, so maybe JDJ just thinking, do you know what, just to make sure we'll stay in front. But let's get back on board with the battle at the top of the grid, because Deacon is 13.7 seconds in front. JDJ just getting released in front of this pack of cars here, so he does actually allow them through. So good sportsmanship there from JDJ, who gets well out of the way of this battle. But yeah, certainly Savvy is under increasing pressure here from Nutcap, but then the gap is dwindling. You can definitely see now from Panic Potato's point of view that he's really having to short shift and just kind of like try to carry the speed in and just, you know, like softly use the brakes really, but yeah, I mean, he flicks it up to 3rd gear there out the exit there, so it does show you that yeah, definitely trying to conserve as much fuel as possible. But yeah,
and he's bringing everyone else along. Look, like Captain Slow's there, Richard's there, so this is maybe a bit of code red now for Panic Potato. He can finish maybe peace right now with how bad it is looking with the fuel. This could go from bad to worse here with the mistake earlier. He could have just saved enough fuel and maybe got home in P2, but now he's going to be overtaken by Savvy going into turn 2, it seems. I don't think it's going to be a contest right now. He has to save fuel and get past him, and he's not even going to fight it, I think, at the moment. Yeah, he's letting Savvy ahead. I think he's doing a bit more of a team game here, and it was a straightforward pass. I think it's damage limitation right now. As Captain Slow is ahead of Nutcap.
I was just about to mention that. Yeah, I was just about to mention that. So 2 moves at the same time. So Paddy Potato down into P3. I'm going to quickly look on the replay now to see exactly how that transpired. But yeah, we saw that Paddy Potato was getting caught by Savvy, and then with Captain Slow and Nutcap, they were side by side. I think Nutcap, also very low on fuel, had to kind of short shift a little bit there. So Captain Slow able to make the move by turn 1 to move up into P4. But let's get back into the racing action, because things are certainly starting to develop as Savvy, as we mentioned, up into P2. Paddy Potato holding that P3, but Captain Slow not too far behind in P4, and Nutcap also smelling the...
hit the wall. The Paddy Potato's got to run down the straight. He's already side by side.
Wow, okay. So as close as you like, as we got 2 side by side between Captain Slow and Nutcap for the fight for P4, or maybe even the fight for P2, because look how close they are closing up into Paddy Potato and Savvy. Nutcap is going to hold it behind, maybe try the old switcheroo, but no, decides better from it, and Captain Slow will settle in P4 just behind Paddy Potato in P3, but Savvy starting to pull away now. Paddy Potato knows with 2 laps remaining that he has literally just got fumes in the car now, so really just trying to make his car as wide as possible, as
contact between Captain Slow and Nutcap. It was a bit close there though, a bit close there.
Yeah, very, very close stuff there. Bumper to bumper, just a slight tap there, as Liam mentioned. But Nutcap just trying to put Captain Slow under immense pressure and just let him know that he's lurking in the background. But as Captain Slow just grazes the wall. Really yeah, just grazes the wall, and that would have slowed him down a little bit, as Nutcap now getting a good run on Captain Slow. It surely is going to leapfrog his way past Captain Slow. Yeah, exactly. He's a sitting duck as well on the outside, and it could be that Captain Slow gets 2 for 1 here as he moves up into P3. Paddy Potato around the outside, and Nutcap, well, it will be the outside for him, but surely with the extra speed, surely will inherit P4, and yes, he does. Paddy Potato down into P5 then, and Nutcap, well, he must be sniffing blood from TNL Captain Slow, who's just in front of me of him, because of course Captain Slow, one of them drivers that had to say, a little bit of contact, and they go, Captain Slow goes sideways as he tried to rescue the car, and Nutcap, I think, just backing off, knowing that it was his mistake. So Captain Slow will inherit 3rd position again, as we are on the last lap of the race. So he's definitely not done here as we come through the tunnel for the last time. Deacon wins round 1 of the SMA Season 2. And Savvy is going to come across the line to finish in 2nd position. Where is Captain Slow? Captain Slow is P3. It's going to be Nutcap just in front of Paddy Potato, who finishes in P5. And then we've got VSR Richard in P6. We saw JDJ just come across the line in P11 as well. So he secured his passage into Tier 1 for the next round. So it will be VSR Giller that will come home in 7th position, with VSR Wolfie grabbing a good P8 for him. Puma Bridgens securing his position in Tier 1 for another round. He finishes in P9, with Kennels grabbing an excellent P10, considering how early on he picked up that damage. And then it will be Ghost Riders going down into Tier 2 for the next round, with VSR Nitro Merlin, who retired from the race quite early on. He will also be down into Tier 2 for round 2, and Jensen joining him as well. So what a fantastic race we just endured there, Liam. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm just blown away with all the drama at the end of the race, because it seemed like everything was just kind of just simmering and seemed pretty much okay. But then once we realized, the fuel situation is not looking good for some of the drivers, it just blew up, and I was thoroughly enjoying. I did not expect that, and I kind of feel heartbroken for Commentator. He did everything right. He had an easy P2, and unfortunately he dropped down to P5. And Deaky, though, just absolutely dominant drive, didn't look back, and I'm really proud of him. He was really consistent today.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, didn't really put a wheel wrong. Finished 16 seconds in front of Savvy as the drivers behind were battling away. And certainly,
my driver of the day is definitely Savvy, though. I gotta be honest with you. Savvy or Captain Slow, both very new to Tier 1 this season, and they just came in and did a second and third, like out of nowhere. Absolutely amazing job.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a replay worth saving, I think. And for those of you that are in chat, do make sure you hit that like button if you did enjoy this race, because SMA really doesn't disappoint. And we've got another 7 rounds to come as well. So if you thought this one was good, then you wait until next week, which we will give you the details a little bit later on. Congratulations to Deaky, to Savvy, and TNR Captain Slow as well for the podium positions. We'll get to interview them after we've read out the provisional race results. Okay, so we're going to call it provisional race results because we don't know what steward inquiries will be handed out and what decisions will be made. But one thing to be sure is that Deaky did win round 1 of the SMA Season 2 at Grand Valley South with a formidable display from him. 16 seconds in front of P2 Savvy Unchained, who did manage to pip TNR Captain Slow for that second position, with Captain Slow finishing in 3rd. And literally by a hair's breadth as well. We're talking 0.3 of a second over Nutcap. So unlucky for Nutcap, but certainly provided the entertainment. Very unfortunate for Panic Potato that finishes in P5. I mean, he did try to make a last gasp effort. I think he just tried to sort of save enough fuel at the end to really push down the final straight, but it was to no avail. He gets P5. VSR Richard comes home in P6 ahead of VSR Giller. Of course, had that moment where he crashed and picked up damage. Finishes 18 seconds behind him in P7, with VSR Wolfie finishing 7 seconds adrift of him in P8. In P9, it was Puma Bridgens finishing just a couple of seconds in front of Kennels, who finishes in a top 10 position. VSR JDJ taking the last solitary position to remain in Tier 1 for next week, with Ghost Riders and VSR Nitro Merlin finishing P12 and P13, with Jensen, of course, not being able to make it. Them 3 drivers will be demoted to Tier 2 for round 2. Okay, so that is the first race. Now we will get the thoughts of the top 3 drivers. So we'll be back very, very shortly. So don't go anywhere and just enjoy this intro.
Season 2, Road Rage, Race for Glory, Sim Motorsport Association, growing the sport together. I can't believe it myself. I mean, it started from 10th. I just thought just to keep it in pool one at least. But surprisingly, I got to third. I don't know how, but I'm there.
Yeah, you certainly did well. I mean, it was an epic battle towards the end. But before we get into that, I mean, tell us about the strategy going in now. Obviously, quite simple, right? The strategy.
Yeah, it was quite simple, but I saw some of the VSR guys went into the pit in lap one. I told my other teammate there, Ghost Rider, let's wait until maybe lap 4 or 5. And then Dylan, Potato, Tiki, I think Chevy went on lap 3. And then I said to Marvin, let's just keep it a little bit on the track and go into lap 4 or 5. And I got a few undercuts there. I think I was from 12. When I came out the pit, I was 8th. So that was a pretty good strat from my side there. Just keeping a little bit on the track so they can battle each out. So yeah, worked out great for me at the end.
Yeah, it certainly did. And yeah, I mean, I've got to say, Captain Slow, I mean, we didn't know how it was going to end because, I mean, well, something. Well, actually, we're not going to interview Panic Potato, but we fought for the life. We fought for the life of him. He was going to finish in P2, and then all of a sudden, you know, Liam, he did notice that he was short shifting a lot, and it was like, oh, he might not make it.
It was quite funny because we were all in the comms as guys in the pool one. I think in the last 5 laps, he was screaming, "Oh, shibbits, he's only got 2 laps or 3 laps or few left, and I think there's about 5 laps left." So you got a bit of sweaty palms there, I would say, at the end there.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, did your eyes light up there? Was you thinking, right, okay, I mean, we can make some serious moves here? Or was you like kind of wary yourself on the fuel situation?
Honestly, these days, Dylan just sprung up very quickly in this whole year. So beating him is quite a milestone, I think, for myself and Chevy, because he's always on the podiums regularly these days. He's one of the big names now in South Africa. So beating him it's an honor. I'm sure I'm going to give him a whole week, some banter about it, but I'm sure he'll be next week in the podium again.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, I've been very impressed with the standards of driving in this first round. It shouldn't come as a surprise because, you know, I've enjoyed, you know, the MSA Cup and Season 1 and, you know, I've lost my voice on many occasions. So so I shouldn't be surprised, but it was really, really great stuff from you guys. And, yeah, congratulations on that performance and 3rd position. And I'll hand you over to Levicius. Hopefully, Levicius, you've got some questions for Captain Slow.
I definitely do. So, Captain Slow, so you make quite a few strong moves, but they were really good on the VSR drivers and a few after that. What was your mindset? Because I noticed you were defending really, really hard, even if you were kind of far behind the other drivers ahead. Were you just trying to say, okay, well, I'm going to fight for this position as is right now. I've got fresher tires than other drivers. Tell me, what were you thinking? Because you started all in P10, so you had to make about, I think, 5-6 moves on track. What was your mentality?
Honestly, I'm using your words now, Liam. What do you say, honestly? But I think the experience comes with the dailies, you know, going for the gap but not going for the gap, you know. And I think that actually helped me a lot, the dailies, because it's quite competitive in the dailies with the A plus drivers. And these guys in this lobby pool one are actually drivers that also don't make mistakes. So you got to do something on the track to make it work, and you got to stick with it sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it do work. But all credit to the guys that not made it easy to pass, but these are respectful drivers on the track. They know what they're doing. So yeah, all credit to them as well for making that moves possible. I mean, yeah.
And tell me, going into lap 39, you're battling your two teammates ahead, Nutcap behind you, hounding you the entire time. What are you feeling? Because this is like one of your first proper opportunities to really get a podium earned on pace. What were you feeling? Were there a bit of jitters right there, or did your eyes cool?
No, look, this is the excitement of this sport or this Gran Turismo. There's always goosebumps, and especially in these higher pools, etc. But like I said, the dailies you race, it's like a norm racing with heavy pressure on your side. I just knew that Nutcap wouldn't do any silly mistake. Like I said, these are respectful drivers. They won't go in for silly moves. And you just have to trust your feeling inside and just also trust the drivers around you. That's it.
Man, kudos to you, man. You did an absolutely amazing job. Well done out there.
Thank you, man. And a shout out to Xavi. I mean, it's his first debut in the SMA, and cheap is P2 for him. Well done to Xavi, man.
Yes, indeed. Well, to be honest, we may actually get to speak to him now. Yeah, I mean, like I say, congratulations to you, Captain Slow, and really look forward to seeing how you get on next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watch the live stream later tonight with the likes of Liam and yourself, Flawed. So yeah, I'm excited to watch that tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one not to be missed, because there was a fair chunk of action, I'm going to call it. I'm guessing you will find out. So yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for talking to us, and we'll hope to catch you again, maybe top 3 again next week.
Yeah, I got to put some practice in there. These guys was crazy quick. I got to put a lot of practice in now.
Well, best of luck to you, and we'll see, won't we?
All right, thanks, boys. Cheerio. Bye.
Cheers, Captain Slow. Bye, mate. Okay, so our second place finisher was TNR Savvy, and of course, making your debut in the SMA, and you grabbed second position. I mean, that is a formidable job that you've put in. But how are you feeling after that?
I'm feeling quite good, to be honest. Felt nervous before the race after qualifying. I was in comms with some of the guys in pool 1, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of scared. Like, I was sweating, my hands were sweating, but throughout the race, I kind of got calm. I kind of made mistakes throughout the first laps on the race, but throughout the race, I just tried to just stay consistent and focus on one thing, and then just staying consistent. And what a battle with Nutcap, by the way. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was literally going to ask you about that, because in the sort of early exchanges, certainly we couldn't separate you two. It was literally you was getting the upper hand on one lap, then the next lap it was Nutcap. I mean, tell us about how you was feeling in that moment, and how you was able to beat him in the end.
Okay, I would say the pressure was there. The pressure is definitely there. Throughout the middle of the race, it was back and forth. I was making mistakes, and then regrouping, and then I was making mistakes and regrouping. But in general, the pace looked quite similar. But then once I saw that Nutcap, is not really an aggressive driver. He's not gonna do silly things. And I was like, okay, let me just chill and just look for a proper opportunity to maybe pass. And then, yeah, I did. And then at the end there, I just saw my pace. Okay, my pace was kind of getting better. And yeah, I just took the opportunity to finish the job and get the podium. And then Dylan happened. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was my next question was, I don't know if you was in the same chat as as Dylan, but obviously something that Liam picked up was that he was having to short shift a lot. Maybe just kind of it was easily in second position. I think he did have a moment though, somewhere sort of at the 3/4 mark, and then all of a sudden we just saw him short shifting, and I thought, well, actually he might not make it on fuel. So what was your feelings as the lap delta and the gaps was dwindling down lap by lap?
Well, I would say, okay, first of all, I feel bad for him because that was an easy second place. So once because he picked it up around lap 31 or lap 32 that, oh, he might not make it actually. And then from there he started show shifting, and that's where I saw, okay, I'm now catching up to him, and the nerves picked up again. I'm kind of made mistakes, but not big mistakes, just simple mistakes. But as soon as I got past him, the nerves come down, and yeah, I just stayed consistent. And I was really hoping he was gonna keep third, but anyways, that was good fuel saving from him, because if it was me, I know I wasn't gonna make it. So yeah, props to him for that.
Yeah, fair play. I mean, you did what you had to do, and like I say, it's a fantastic position to finish in for your first race of this season. So congratulations to you on second, and a great performance there. Levitius, I'm sure, again, you've got more questions to throw at Savi.
Definitely. Well, Savi, I'm interested to know. So is this probably some of your first proper league racing with these drivers? Because I don't think you've raced a couple of these drivers out here. What was your experience with the driving standards and the way everyone conducted themselves on track? And how did you feel about it?
Oh, okay. It's definitely it's not the same experience as daily races, I would say. Everybody is consistent. Everybody is on par with each other, like the pace
Mm,
in general. Because I saw in qualifying, everybody said a 112 basically. Like the top 10, I think,
yeah.
said a 112. So we weren't separated by much. So it was just about being consistent again and keeping pace with these guys. I was even surprised at myself that, okay, I can actually keep up with these guys. But again, it was an honor to race against VSR Richard, JDJ, my friend Dylan, which is Panic Potato, and Nutcap. It was an honor, and I'm really proud of myself. I would say, yeah, I'm really proud of myself there.
It's absolutely amazing, man. You made an explosive entrance into SMA, and I'm just quite interested to know, was your strategy also just to follow Dylan when he boxed in lap two? Or what is your game plan? Because for this race, obviously, you could do a few more laps on the mediums and then have way fresher softs for later in the race,
hmm
or were
hmm
you just trying to say, okay, well, let's copy the strategies of the other drivers and see if they make mistakes, which ultimately actually happened with Dylan running out of fuel almost. So,
Yep.
what is your plan?
Okay, my plan was to pit lap 4 or 5, but then okay, after the first lap, I saw everybody pit except
Hmm.
all the TNR members. Everybody pit. So I was like, okay, Dylan, let's pit lap 2 then. And yeah, that was that. And then in terms of fuel, um, we kind of sorted out during the race that, okay, 40% might be enough, and I kind of overfueled. I thought I overfueled, but luckily for in my case, it was enough. And from there, yeah, I was just being full force throughout the race.
Well done. And lastly, you were stuck to nightcap the entire race. You got a penalty, and he got a penalty. You dropped back over a second. He dropped back over a second. He came back into your slipstream and then got past you, and then you repassed him. What was going through your mind? Because it must have been quite frustrating. You could also really lose your focus when you get a penalty around you because it breaks your rhythm. But luckily, you actually managed to regain your composure. Was that difficult, or have you been able to like deal with that and forget about the problem and go forward, or what is your approach to that?
Um, I would say that I wasn't really into that penalty, like getting penalties. I was like, okay, I have a penalty. I'm gonna serve it. I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna focus on the race and focus on the next corner. And yeah, it didn't really come to my mind that much during the heat of the moment. But yeah, anyways, with Nutcap, like those side by side battles and all that, it was just, I would say that I took that experience from GTSA. I would say that learning not when and when not to be aggressive. So yeah, I just took that to mind and was like, okay, I'm gonna put that into this race, and it was successful, I
Well
would
done.
say.
Really
Yeah.
good job, and congratulations on your second place.
Thank you very much, Lev.
Yeah, and just a final question, actually, I wanted to throw to you, Savi. So of course, yeah, making your debut today, you've grabbed a brilliant second position. Has that given you the confidence now to go into the rest of the championship with your with such supreme confidence that now that maybe you can carry it forward and even challenge for the race win next time?
Oh, definitely, definitely. After like I saw, okay, I can actually keep up with these fast guys because SMA is a different league. To be honest, it's a way different league. So this race was just trying to get that composure and trying to set a benchmark for the season for myself. And as soon as I saw that, okay, I'm actually doing good, I can actually keep up with these people. Kind of brought up my confidence, and yeah, next week I'm coming in with full confidence. But still, I'm gonna practice very hard.
Well, yeah, I think that is the key word, isn't it? Practice. I know
Yeah,
with quite a number of the drivers that practice is. Well, I don't know the exact time that you guys put in, but I know it's pretty much on a daily basis. So, yeah, it's certainly. With the cars that we're using as well, of course, because normally in racing leagues we do sort of like Group 3s, Group 4s, but
yeah,
this
yeah.
season's all about the road cars. So
Mm-hmm.
so definitely more practice needed.
Yep, more practice needed in terms of adjusting to the car, how it turns, when to accelerate, and braking points. Because I would say in a Group 3 car, you know the track, so you know the braking points, and it's just easier. But with road cars, it's a different thing. It's a different world, which whereby you gotta relearn the track. Basically, I would say relearn the racing line, the optimal racing line, and yeah, getting optimal times.
Okay, well, I mean, it sounds like you know what you're doing, and I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season. Maybe this will
Thank you very
not
much.
be the only time we speak to you in the interview room, but congratulations to you on that second position, and yeah, really look forward to seeing how you get on next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sappy. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and then on to our race winner, Deacon, who took a spell out of SMA or didn't get involved in the MSA Cup, but first race back, grabs the race victory and by quite a margin as well. How are you feeling after that one, DK?
Yeah, good evening. I'm feeling good. I'd say like you said, I took a break in the MSA Cup, and I was playing a lot of other games such as golf. Basically, I went into retirement for a couple of months or so, and then I heard that SMS season 2 is starting, and these road cars, and I think it's a good change up from your normal GT cars. So yeah, no, I'm feeling good after that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looked it. I mean, for I'd say at least half the race, it was kind of very close between yourself and Panic Potato. But then I think Panic Potato must have made a mistake. But something that myself and Liam noticed was just how consistent your lap times were. Literally, sort of a tenth in between, really. Tell us about the car. But did it really suit you? And yeah, I mean, you obviously you spoke up about the switch up of different cars to road cars. So how did the car feel to you?
Yeah, I quite enjoy the car. I think I think it had a nice balance, I'd say, well, in terms of my driving style, because in some of the corners you were kind of sliding, so I could obviously control it. So but it's basically like a controlled slide, and I think, well, especially on this track now, there was a few tight and twisty sections, which I think suited the car and suited my way of driving. So overall, I think I very much enjoyed the track and the car combination.
Yeah, it certainly looked that way. And was you quite surprised, like how big the margins were sort of behind? Or, I mean, was you focusing on that? Or was it literally just about sort of focusing on your own driving and see, you know, where that was going to lead you to?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I had Dylan behind, Panic Potato. I had him behind a couple seconds. And then I think I had slightly more pace than him on certain corners. And he was quite he spoke up up about that in the comms. So yeah, eventually I pulled a bit of a gap. And yeah, and well, you know, sometimes in these races, 10 laps go by, and then you kind of get into an autopilot state of mind where, because there's nothing really going on around you. And so, you know, 10 laps go by, 15 laps go by, the gap keeps going up. So yeah, I would say it's just, yeah, like you said, I was quite consistent as well. I know I was doing 12.7, 12.8, 12.9, somewhere around there. So yeah, I was very very much consistent throughout the race. So I think that obviously helped as well with the large gap, I would say, compared to the other guys. So yeah, no, I heard in the comms there was quite a lot going on behind me. So some of the guys in the comms were, you know, there's a lot of commentary going on. So I could I had some of that to entertain myself whilst I was in the lead. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we, myself and Liam, we had so much to talk about. There was, I mean, look, we shouldn't ever be surprised with the SMA because, you know, throughout all the races I've commentated on, there's never been a boring one. You know, I think this something that Sir Mags has nicknamed me as the guy of the third lung, because it literally you have to be on point for these races. So, yeah, no, it was a fantastic result, fantastic performance from you. You know, perfect start for you. Are you feeling confident ahead of the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think this first race was a bit of an unknown, you know, because it's like road cars and it's a bit different. So you obviously have raced a few of the guys in the previous season, and that was different cars. So these are different. These are road cars, so they're handled differently. And some people are maybe good at GT cars, and some people are maybe good at road cars. So obviously, I would say the skill gap would maybe change because it's different cars and whatnot. So I think that. Sorry, what is the question?
Well, just are you well? Obviously, you've made a winning start. So are you feeling confident for the rest of the season? Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think so. I mean, I've done these league races and stuff for a good amount of years now, and even before the start of this race, I had some butterflies in my stomach. I was a bit nervous because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. But I would say this first race kind of put things into perspective and all. But obviously, again, every race is different. But I would say overall, going forward, I am quite confident.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Well, that was like I say, a formidable drive from you. Didn't put a wheel wrong. So great to hear you've got the confidence and really challenged for the season 2 title. So Levitius, any questions for our race winner today?
Well, it's kind of a different perspective. Usually I'm the one racing Deaky, but a little question here, Deaky. Are you just gonna make this a habit? Because, we had a few issues yesterday with the lagging. So if you just finish it all the way in P1, maybe you don't have to worry about all of that. And how are you feeling about your adaptability going into the next couple of races where it's changing every race in terms of the car?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, well, I don't know the future tracks and cars combos. But I would say the road cars is different, and I think I'm gonna like it just because it's a new challenge type of thing. So yeah, I think going forward, like I said, I'm confident. I'm excited to get the next few races underway.
Well, if you got that motivation and drive, I think you're going to be unstoppable. So good luck for the rest of the season, and well done on your P1 today.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I've muted myself there. I can only reiterate it was brilliant from you. And actually, I was going to ask one question then. So we obviously interviewed Savvy and Captain Slow. They said it's all about practice, but I heard that you're one of these drivers that tends not to put the practice in. Is that correct?
No, that's very true. It's been a habit of mine for a lot of these years now. Even when I started, I just don't practice because I don't know. I just don't practice because I don't know if I'm lazy or what. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm still at least on par with most of the guys, and so obviously different people need different amounts of time to practice, and I'm just one of those guys that don't need too long to get to extract the most out of the car on the track. So yeah.
Do you think that if you did put the practice in, do you think that would actually make you worse then? Why change a habit of a lifetime?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if I do practice more, I would say it will give me a 10 to 2 tenths, maybe max, depending on the track and car combination. But I think that for this race, as an example, I think I got the most out of the car. So in that regard, I didn't feel the need to practice more than what I did, because I only done one practice race a couple days ago, and I felt like that was all I needed to get my head around what I needed to do, and so that's what I done, and I won the race. So I mean, I'm happy overall. But yes, I could probably practice more than what I do. So yeah.
Well, I mean, the strategy of maybe not putting in as much practice still earned you the race win. So I mean, who is in myself or the other drivers to say anything? So yeah, congratulations on such a great performance and the first win of the season as well. And we look forward to seeing how you get on next week, and we'll see if you can keep up this form, DK.
For sure. Thanks, guys. Cheers,
DK. Take care. Okay, so that was the thoughts of our podium finishers, and quite interesting thoughts from the drivers in what was a phenomenal race yet again. So I guess it's time to see what is coming up for round 2. Okay, so coming up next week, we are off to Japan for round 2 of season 2 at the iconic Gran Turismo original circuit of the High Speed Ring. The track length is 4.3 kilometers, featuring 6 turns in this fast-flowing circuit, and they will be running the G-Ready Fugu Z car which features a 2.5 litre front-engined rear-wheel drive car powering 294 brake horsepower at 9,000 RPM and weighing in at just 1,100 kilos in this naturally aspirated car. So an interesting combo coming up for next week. And how do you feel the drivers will fare in this one, Levitis?
Well, we're speaking a lot about slipstream around this race. I think around there, you're going to have to be 1.5 seconds clearer to be safe from any slipstream. It's going to be a lot of slipstreaming battles with it's like high, it's a bit of like, it is a high speed rig, but it's similar to how you do oval racing, because you're going to be flat out with this car for quite a while down the long straight. So it's going to be very important about positioning yourself and timing the passing. Really important. It's going to be really important. It's not the most difficult circuit. We do have a bit of wall penalties on for that race, which is going to be very interesting, and hopefully people do not take advantage of that in game, but we'll have to find out. And yeah, it's going to be interesting next week.
Yeah, it certainly is indeed. Well, that is what's coming up for next week, but it's important to shout out our sponsors for the SMA Season 2. So simulatorcave.com is our official sponsor for Season 2, as well as TGSC Cape Town Golf Academy, with new sponsors of Postnet Midstream and Right Recruitment, and also DC Designs, and finally Coach Dave Academy. So thank you so much for sponsoring us for the SMA Season 2. So please subscribe to our socials at Sim Motorsport Association on all our platforms: Facebook, Instagram, our growing community on Discord, and of course this very channel on YouTube. Make sure if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, clicking the bell notification so you don't miss any of our content. And when you're done watching, hit the like button to help with the YouTube algorithm so it spreads our content across the platform. We fully appreciate you. Now, if you would like to get involved in future championships as a driver, please contact Robin Williams, our SMA GT7 promoter, for further details. The email links will be in the description below and on our YouTube homepage. I've got to say a big thank you to the SMA Productions and the SMA admin for their tireless efforts. They will be providing for us all season long. So thank you to our amazing moderators of Dana, CJ and Double DP, as well as Robin, for keeping everyone under control and welcoming all our new viewers on our YouTube chat. Now, SMA is in association with Motorsport South Africa, the only organisation licensed and fully backed by the FIA of all competitive motorsport inside of South Africa. Okay, so we are going to get the thoughts of Levitis for the final time. We're just going to go for a quick break and we'll be back very shortly. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so Levitis, it's important to say that this was your first time ever commentating on a race, and I have to say, what a fabulous job that you did today. Absolute natural on the mic. But what are your thoughts on today's opener for Season 2?
Well, it was a great first experience. Great, there was a lot of things to cover, so we didn't lose things to talk about. We always had something to worry about, and that was fun at least. And to be honest with you, I actually really enjoyed this overall, and the race, quite unexpected, some of the results. I expected generally the top Diki was, I'm not surprised he won the race, but some of the other drivers, like JDJ just had a mare, unfortunate. He'll get back up there definitely. And then just I'm just surprised to see a lot of different names at the top, which was not expected. And I look forward to see what happens in the rest of the season and also round 2. Definitely going to be quite a strategic championship with what the combos produce in terms of the racing. And I look forward to it, yeah.
And I think you did mention the driver of the day, didn't you? But it'd be interesting to know what chat thinks as well. Was it Savvy you said, wasn't it?
No, I said it was Captain Slow. Yeah.
Oh, Captain Slow.
P3 is absolutely insane.
Okay. So, do you agree with Levitis's call on the driver of the day? Let us know in the chat, please. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I mean, yeah, I can't believe how good of a performance your commentary was today, Liam. It was spectacular, to be honest. I'm pretty sure the chat will agree with me in saying that. You know, we really hope that we can get you back again for more races this season. What I was going to say was, of course, Levitis is a Twitch streamer in his spare time. I would imagine most people know this, but for those that don't know of Levitis as a streamer, please do check out his link there. It is Levitis__ on Twitch. Go and hit that follow button for him and tune in to his streams, because they are very, very entertaining. But Levitis, for the viewers out there that don't know you, what kind of content can we expect from you?
Well, I cover obviously a lot of sim racing stuff, but I generally do like Monday streams, daily races on Gran Turismo, where I discover what the new races are, and then throughout the week I either do some GTWS races if they're on, or I do league racing, which I've been doing for the last 4 years. So I'm currently having a small break, but definitely will be returning in the future. And it's great to be behind a different screen and being a commentator as well, which is nice. And also, maybe sometimes a couple other story games on stream, but that's not really that important. Yeah, I just do a lot of Gran Turismo 7 and some LMU, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I've known Levitis for quite a long time, and actually I'm one of his moderators as well. I forgot about that. So yeah, you know, he's a brilliant streamer. Highly recommend him. You'll learn definitely a thing or two from his you know, overall racing, his pace. He's used to driving with the very top split drivers and compete at the highest level. So please do check him out. I just did see the chat as well, so it is to be believed that Deacon has been voted as a driver of the day. I mean, that's a pretty good outcome, I'd say, because he did win the race, as I got tangled with my words there. Yeah, Levitis, again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll definitely have to have a word with those in charge to get you back on. Have you got a good feel for commentary now?
Well, it was a lot of things I was just trying to catch up on. I felt like I had everything under control, but you know, I'm going to be able to know in the future that I'm not going to step over your words. So I noticed I was doing that, but I think that was just a bit of teething issues. But overall, I think we didn't miss out on really much that happened, except for Panic Potato's mistake. But overall, I think we did a great job, and I appreciate the compliment.
I mean, it's no easy feat, to be honest, because so much does happen in these SMA races. But yeah, huge congratulations to you, Levi, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, and before we go, I do have to give a quick shout out to Lucky Mistake. Lucky Mistake, aka our very own moderator Dana. You know, Dana, if you want to say hi in the chat so everyone knows who you are, she is responsible for all the fabulous graphics that you see in front of you. And as well, we've got a brand new YouTube content creator in Parquet713 that's been responsible for all the intro vids, the promotional trailers leading up to this event as well, and what a fabulous job that these two have done already for this season and will continue on doing for the rest of the season. So do definitely go and support them as well. The links are there on screen right now. Lucky Miss Take on her Twitch channel and Parquet713 on his YouTube channel. Please do follow or hit that subscribe button for them. It'd be much appreciated. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Round 1 is complete, and it was Deaky who reigned supreme today with an excellent victory today. Will he be dominant in the races to come, or will there be other challengers that will emerge to balance the pendulum back towards the other side? Well, you have to tune in next week on the 13th of September at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Africa time to find out. But until then, it's myself, Flawed Genius Gaming, signing out. So thank you all for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed, and make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you're new. It would be really appreciated. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me, so stay safe out there, have a great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye for now. SMA, growing the sport together.